Hi guys, it's Donna with Donna's Design Threads, and today is day 25 of our shelter at home, and it's 2 o'clock and we're here live on Facebook, and we're going to continue talking about the half square triangle. I told you today that we would talk about another technique on how to make them, and I think you're going to be really excited about this one. And also, I want to show you another quote. Well, yesterday, I had a little technical difficulties at the end. I got this new little setup for my phone to do these videos with. And I was going to try to move it up a little bit so you could see the quilt behind me. And I don't know what I pushed, but I lost you guys. So I thought it had been long enough of a video and we could pick up today since we're continuing to talk about our half square triangles. And you can see I got a little bit more done on it, and I'm really liking the way that is turning out. So then this morning I got up to get some long arm quilting done for customers, and lo and behold, the quilt that I grabbed to put on the machine on Gomez this morning to be quilted was chock full of half square triangles. So I got that one done, and I called Janet and said, is it okay if I show your quilt on the video today, because we're talking about half square triangles. So this one is a carpenter star, and I am really excited to show it to you. So just look at all of those beautiful half square triangles. Makes this star. Like I said, this one's called a carpenter star. I know it's a really popular pattern out there. If you just Google around for it, you can find it. And now you're learning some new great fun techniques to make the half square triangle. So let's get on with that. Yesterday we talked about charms packs, and they are packets of the 5-inch squares. I put mine over there. And they also have another pre-cut type of bundle that you can buy that's called a layer cake. And it is 42 10-inch squares. So we can make basically, right, there's 4 5-inch squares in a 10-inch square, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so we could cut the layer cake into 4 5-inch squares and do the technique that we learned yesterday. That would totally work. And in some instances, you might want to do that because you might want to mix them all up. Because if you do this technique that I'm going to show you, you're going to end up with, are you ready for it? 8 half square triangles. But the thing of it is that they're all going to be the same. So you're going to end up with 8 that are all the same. So if you're trying to do something scrappy, this might not be a good option. If you're trying to do something where you like maybe all of your squares are going to have the same exact background, or it's not as scrappy, you want a lot of the same kind of half square triangles, this would be a really good option because you're sewing 4 seams and you end up with 8 half square triangles. So a little bit of a time saver. So what you want to do is, I'm going to try and move this down without turning you guys off so you can see my work area. Okay, so we're going to lay out the 10-inch square. And unfortunately, my magic wand is not long enough to do the 10-inch square. I was kind of bummed about that. But no worries, we'll do the other technique I showed you yesterday where you draw the line down the center. Okay, so get a longer ruler, and we're going to draw 1 line instead of the 2. We're going to draw 1 line corner to corner this direction. And then it's also too big for my sandpaper board, so, but like I said, it's going to be worth it because I'm going to end up with 8. So again, turn it the other direction and draw your line corner to corner. All right, so I've got those 2 lines drawn. Now remember yesterday when I was showing you if you didn't have the magic wand. So I have, so it makes a big X in the square. So now, like yesterday when I was showing you without the magic square, we're going to sew on both sides of the line. So I have one here that I already did that on. If you can see the stitching. So 1/4 of an inch away from both lines. So down one side, down the other, turn it, down this side, down that side. So like I said, you've sewn 4 seams. And then here comes the real magic of it. I'm going to turn this way a little bit too. Okay, so now we're going to cut right on those lines that we drew. And this I am going to use the rotary cutter for instead of my scissors, because I've got to make 4 cuts and I don't want it to move. So I'm going to cut that first diagonal line and spin it around. And it did move on me a little bit. Bump that back together. And make sure it's all the way on my board. Okay. Now we're going to cut this line. That direction. And now we're going to make 2 more cuts. So make sure it's all lined back up together. Turn it straight on towards you. And now we're going to cut 5 inches in. So basically we're going to cut it in half, both directions. And it's okay if it's not totally perfect, because we still are going to have a little bit extra that we're going to go back and trim, just like we trimmed yesterday. So here we go. 4th cut. And let's see the magic. Look at that. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just like that. So then I'm going to go press them all open, and again, we're going to trim it. I want to do another little talk on the block lock ruler. So these, again, come in a lot of different sizes. So it depends on what project you're doing as to which size of these you want to use. If, like, I had the 4.5 inch ruler and I had like 3-inch blocks, I could use it. I just would have to turn the ruler each time. So there is, even though it has this really nice groove that your seam fits into, it's nice because it butts right up to it. But you do have to make sure you have the right side of it, because it's like a groove. So if you can see, the corner has a groove, and then like 1/4 of an inch over, there's a groove. This 1/4 inch over one is not the one you want to line up with your seam. It's the one that's right in the middle. So you've got to make sure, because look, if I line that one up, look at how off it is. And you have to really be careful if you're using it for a different size block. So make sure you have that turned the right direction to where the groove that goes corner to corner is in the one that butts up into your seam. Okay, so I just wanted to clarify that again a little bit. And then I also want to clarify, if you don't have the block lock ruler, so if I'm going to use just a regular 5.5, I think it's a 6-inch ruler, but it does have a diagonal line that I can line the seam up. It's not going to nest in there like the other ruler, but you can still line it up. So I know I'm going to put both of the ones, because it goes 1 inch, starts 1 inch this way and 1 inch this way, into the corner, top right corner, because I'm right-handed. And I want to cut this at 4.5, so I'm going to go just over 4.5, making sure that this line is straight on my seam. Okay, so then I'm going to trim this side, and I'm just going to trim the side and the top. Okay, make sure, yeah, got that. And then I'm going to turn the whole block, because this is the side I cut. Now this, I know this side's nice and straight, so I want that side to line up right at the 4.5 inch mark on both sides. So the 1 inch is up here in the corner, 4.5, 4.5, and my line is right on the seam. Okay, so it is possible to still trim up your half square triangles without using the block lock ruler. So just wanted to go over that with you guys and show you that again. So that's all I want to show you on the half square triangles. I want to remind you guys that we are having a 20% off everything on the website sale the rest of this month. So I think that goes through like next weekend. And last week when we were talking about bindings, I didn't show you our cute little binding babies. So these are like little spools here. This one is my little old granny one from the Little Red Riding Hood. Don't have any of those left, but here's a cute little one. There's lots of different ones that have different color hair, different color spools. So it's a nice way if you make your binding ahead of time to just store it until your quilt is all quilted and ready. And then it's also helpful to have you attach it to your quilt while you're attaching your binding. So this little spool has a hole, and you can actually put that right on if you have like a second spindle on your machine, like this there. So my thread is down in here on that spool or spindle, whatever you want to call it. And then this can be up here. And then as I'm binding my quilt, it keeps it there nice and steady for me. And so it's not all wrapped up all over the floor and getting tangled in my chair. It's great. I love it. Okay, I'm going to try and take this off. Okay, lost you for a second. I'm going to just leave it on there. And what else? Yeah, just don't forget we're having our 20% off the rest of the week. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Be continuously creative and come back and join me tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Bye.